Hi everybody, this is Chaos Chrono, here with another episode for the deck openings at Keyforge. Last episode we had the Semi Racer, and we'll see what we get this episode. Here is the next deck. Let's grab one of these. See what we got. The first house, Sanctum. We have Saurians and Shadows. Not bad. The Sanctum Saurian combination is actually pretty good, depending on whether we get the right cards. Got a nice orange Archon. The name of the deck is I'm gonna butcher this. Thenend Grambling Flores Alpha. Well, let's get this opened up. Okay, so I'm gonna get my deck holder set up, so less shakiness and keeping things more consistent, easier to watch for you guys. So let's put this card down first, and then let's switch. All right, and we're starting with Shadows. We have Splinter, 1 power. Provides 6 damage icons for the deck. Very nice. Master Mindy, 2 power elusive creature. At the end of your turn, put a scheme counter on Master Mindy. Action: remove each scheme counter from Master Mindy. Steal 1 for each scheme counter removed this way. So a bit of a delayed steal, but still good amber control. Masses Asp, 3 power, skirmish and poison creature. Borrow, Amber Pip when you play it. You can take control of an enemy artifact. While under your control, it belongs to House Shadows, instead of its original house. This is a great artifact control card. Tempting Offer, Amber when you play it. It enhances 1 capture icon in the deck, and when you play, you return an enemy creature to an owner's hand. If you do, your opponent gains 1 Amber. We have 2 of those. The second one is enhanced with a capture pip. We have Shoulder ID enhanced with a damage pip, 6 power, taunt. Shoulder ID cannot fight, but when it would deal damage, it steals 1 amber instead. Another little bit of amber control, albeit a little out of your hands. Nexus, 3 power, elusive, reap. Use an enemy artifact as if it were yours. You have 2 artifact controls so far in Shadows. Mug, 1 amber when you play it. 2 damage pips enhanced on the card. When you play, you move 1 amber from a creature to your pool. Deal 2 damage to that creature. Nice total of 4 damage. Look over there. Deal 2 damage to a creature. If it is not destroyed, steal 1 amber. Another amber control. Very nice. Francis the Economist, 3 power, skirmish. When he fights, each player gains 1 amber. Occasionally useful, but not my favorite card in this set. Dark Wave, amber when you play it. Deal 2 damage to each non-mutant creature. Nice board damage. Oh, moving on to Saurians, and we have a Maverick. We have Tachyon Pulse, which is originally from Star Alliance. It gives you an amber when you play it, and when you play it, destroy each artifact, exhaust each creature with an upgrade. Very nice card, and again, artifact control. That's pretty good in this deck. Monument to Faust. When you action it, keys cost +1 during your opponent's next turn. If Faust the Great is in your discard pile, keys cost +2 during your opponent's next turn instead. And this guarantees us a Faust in our deck. Oh, we have Saurus Rex, 6 power. He's the leader of the Saurians. Fight Reap effect. If Saurus Rex is in the center of your battle line, you may exalt it. If you do, search your deck for a Saurian card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. Great card, and you can pick and choose what card you might want to bring back on your Saurian turn. Humble. When you play it, exhaust a creature. If you do, move 3 amber from that creature to the common supply. So it doesn't say friendly, which means you could target an enemy creature and exhaust it. could be useful against certain cards. Ancient Power. Amber when you play it, ward each friendly creature with Amber on it. Great if we could get a city-state interest or something. Sagittarius Gaze. Amber when you play it, enhanced with a damage pip. And it enhances a damage pip, so that could be the one. Play. Exalt a damaged creature. And here's our Faust. 4 power. Your opponent's keys cost +1 for each friendly creature with Amber on it. When you play, you may exalt a friendly creature. So again, this guy can increase key costs like crazy. And we have two Faust. Very nice. Chant of Hubris. Amber when you play it, and enhance with the capture icon. When you play it, move 1 Amber from a creature to another creature. Nice. Good Amber management there. Beware the Ides. Amber when you play it, deal 23 damage to a creature in the center of its controller's battle line. Great damage, albeit it might not kill everything that could be played, but still useful nonetheless. 2 of those, and the second one with an enhanced damage pip, so in case something was warded in the center of the battle line, this can definitely take it out. Oh, Dark Aember Vault. Wow, we have a Maverick, we have Dark Aember Vault. There's some fun things in here. Dark Aember Vault is an artifact. Location. After you play a mutant creature, draw a card. Each friendly mutant creature gets +2 power. Great card to have. We're going to have to go back and double check how many mutants there are in this deck. I don't think there would be many based off the houses, but we'll see. Moving on to Sanctum, we have Dino Knight, 6 power, 2 armor. Play. You may exalt Dino Knight. If you do, deal 3 damage to a creature. Radiant Truth. Amber when you play it, stun each enemy creature not on a flank. Great board control card, especially when your opponent's a bit ahead. Gorm of Om. Artifact. Omni. Destroy Gorm of Om, and then destroy an artifact. Barrister Joya. 5 power, 1 armor. Enemy creatures cannot reap. This is great for any board-based opponent. Prevents them from ramping up on their Amber, especially if they're ahead on the board, until they deal with Joya. We have 2 of them. Second one with an enhanced damage pip. So again, consistency on that. Lieutenant Governor, 4 power, 1 armor creature. After you fight with a creature, Lieutenant Governor captures an Amber. Very nice. Gizelhard Zealot, 4 power, and he comes into play ready and enraged. Great first turn play. Font of the Eye, great artifact to see in House Sanctum, very useful, and this one's enhanced with a damage pip. Omni, if an enemy creature was destroyed this turn, a friendly creature captures 1 Amber. Very nice. And we have 2 of those. Commandeer, more Amber control. Amber pip when you play it. For the remainder of the turn, after you play another card, a friendly creature captures 1. Be nice with a full hand of Sanctum. Burning Glare. Amber when you play it, enhances the damage pip. There's a bunch of damage pips in this deck too. Play, stun an enemy creature, or stun each enemy mutant creature. This has been pretty useful in my play experience as well. Last card of the deck, Bulwark. 4 power, 1 armor creature, enhanced with the damage pip. Has Assault 2, and gives each of his neighbors Assault 2 as well. Nice end to the deck. Let's get this organized and see what we have. Okay, let's start with looking at the Amber count. We have 5 cards in Shadows, 7 cards in Saurians, and 3 cards in Sanctum that give you an Amber pip. That's 15 Amber right off of the cards. And we have a look over there that's probably going to help us generate 1 as well. We're looking about 16 Amber generation just by playing the card. Alright, next we have a clear look at the entire deck. We're looking at Amber control here along this line. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 cards that directly manage the opponent's Amber in some way, shape, or form. Now, there is a lack of directly removing their Amber. However, this deck largely focuses on increasing their costs and at the same time capturing Amber as needed. So we have, in terms of steal, just in the shadows, look out and look over there, sorry, Master Mindy. And that's pretty much it for the shadows, other than Shoulder ID, which is more of a pseudo Amber control. It requires the opponent to fight into it in order to steal anything, so not the most consistent, but can be considered. Our biggest control here will probably be in Saurians with Faust, having the board and maintaining that in order to maintain their key cost to be crazy high. And also the Joyas to prevent their reaping, to prevent them from gaining the Amber in the first place. And finally some capture between Governal, the two Fawn of the Eyes, and Commandeer. Over here we have 3 cards that are more Amber protection based rather than capturing, sealing, or managing directly. We have Humble to reduce the amount of Amber that's on our side that's captured, of course at the cost of exhausting a creature. And Ancient Power, where after we have captured all this Amber, we can play it in order to ward every single friendly creature that has Amber on it. And finally Chant of Hubris to move some Amber around. Now this happens to also come with a capture pip, so you're able to move that Amber right away even if you didn't have anything else capturing at the time. So there's some nice synergy in terms of having that enhancement on that card. Down here on the bottom left we have artifact control. We have various types spanning all 3 houses, which is very nice to see. We have Borrow to take the artifacts from them and use it to our advantage. We have Nexus that also utilizes the opponent's artifacts that have a use function. We have Tachyon, Pulse, and Gormavalm in 2 different houses in order to destroy any artifacts that might be a nuisance for our deck to face. Down in the middle here we have our creature control. Unfortunately there is no big wipe to clear the board. However, since we're expecting to be holding the board, this targeted removal, other than Dark Wave is probably the main thing that we might not play depending on our board state. Everything else is just good for us. Between Tempting Offer, Mug with the 2 bonus damage pips, Radiant Truth stunning their opponent's entire board, except for the flanks, and Burning Glare, which is great against any deck with high numbers of mutants. Speaking of glare, right there, and Beware the Ides. So that does require a bit more control, a bit more finessing, but can still be utilized efficiently. And over here we have Sagittarius, which is more of a pseudo creature control, obviously because there's only 1 damage on the card itself, and it will deals more with Amber than destroying the creature. And the rest of these are more creature based, Skirmish Fighters and Splinter that provides these damage pips, and a few other fighters. So with them aside, we have 2 more pieces to look at. We have here at the top Saurus Rex and what cards you might be bringing into the fold from your deck, which within Saurians, once you have that hand set up, that Ancient Ward will probably be your target for the most part. Perhaps your artifact to get it down, to get you cycling through your deck a bit faster once that card is out of the deck. And it also depends on what your opponent is running, so that's always something to look forward to. The Dark Aember Vault, unfortunately in this deck, will not be very useful. So let me quickly grab all the mutants. So I've moved some cards to the top here. We have 3 creatures in this deck that are mutants: Splinter, Dino Knight, and Bulwark. Those are the only creatures in this deck that's gonna be impactful with Dark Aember Vault. So unfortunately, it's not going to be very useful in this deck. I mean, every little bit counts, right? So hopefully that works. Might not want to play it if the opponent has Borrow, because that could be detrimental. So be mindful of that. But overall, I think this deck is pretty decent. Definitely a lot of exciting tools to utilize within play. Overall, because of the nature of the cards and what it relies on, it may not be the most consistent, being able to pull off what it wants to do. Being board based, typically in terms of my own play style, not my favorite approach. A lot of big brain plays, and I may not have that big enough of a brain in order to pull them off, so we will have to see how this deck performs. But overall, my thought process for the rating isn't at that high. We're looking at upper 60s to low 70s is what I'm thinking. The Amber Control, there's a bunch of cards, so we're definitely looking at double digits for the Amber Control. Artifact Control definitely floating around 4, which is great. Responding to artifacts, especially like Eaton's Jar and things like that, that can definitely mess up your game. The Creature Control is fairly decent. Again, very targeted removal, just lacking a board wipe just for those emergency situations when you're falling behind on the board. 2, 4, 6, 8 cards that deal with that. So we're floating around 10 Creature Control. And speed-wise, Saurus Rex, Dark Aember Vault, those are the only ways to cycle through the deck, which means the speed is going to be relatively slow. Probably single digits, looking around 3. We will have to bring that rating down a little bit, so let's say 70 on the dot for SAS. Yeah, the speed is single digits around 3. Amber Control is a bit higher, definitely double digits, maybe 13, 14. Artifact Control is definitely there at about a 4. And Creature Control, again, floating around 10. Those are the key numbers that I look at, and I think that that's going to be my final answer for my guess towards this deck. So we'll see after I pull up the actual rating to see what the actual rating of this deck is. Well, that's everything for this deck. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing to support the channel. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And as always, be kind and happy forging.